Hey everyone, welcome back to Jenna Marie's channel. Doing another video right now. It's necessary. And so, kind of wrote stuff down, finally. And I really want to talk about some of these topics right now. Kind of what my last video pretty much talked about, but I want to talk about the unavailable partner. And I want to talk about how self-care, the not healthy self-care, like you don't love yourself and you have self-hate and you're not taking care of yourself, and how you shame yourself, and how you're the only 100%, you're only being apologetic to that unavailable partner, and you're sabotaging yourself, and you might be inflicted having that be on others to get your needs met. And maybe you're going through PTSD. Maybe you're going through someone that has a obsessive compulsive disorder. Maybe they literally sabotage you and they program that obsessive compulsive disorder to get you to be the same way as they are. And so I want to talk about that individually. I am going to be starting to talk about the unavailable partner and what to notice and what you can do to try to overcome and heal from that unavailable partner that you wish to have in your life, to be more loving and caring and love you and is out for you in a good way, and having their best interest for you in that way of your guys' life. And so I want to talk about the unavailable partner, but then I want to talk about also having a available partner and the vice versa with that. So when you deal with an unavailable partner, you will literally start to see, them not having any self-care for you. You're going to start to see how they will literally blame you for everything. They literally will sabotage you. They will inflict that behavior, and they will try to get you to do it yourself. Kind of like they want you to be obsessive compulsive, and they want you to be the one that, is the attention seeker and everything. But having a person that is unavailable, a partner, it can be someone, emotional that means something to you. In that way, you're not really recovering, because, you could have PTSD. You could go through that. You could, be in therapy for it. You can also try to manage and help yourself out. But if you have an unavailable partner, you're going to literally have no self-care for yourself. You are literally, like I just said, you are going to shame yourself all the time. You're going to have self-hate. You're going to have this, your mind's going to be programmed pretty much just how that narcissist, unhealthy, toxic individual, how they want you. And where they want you, they will put you on that spot. And so sometimes you might have that unavailable partner that literally makes you feel like you did something wrong. And they might say, well, you're doing this, you're doing that, and that's why I'm not spending much time with you. Or you did this and it hurt me. Or you did that. Or they make up lies just because they want to be unavailable to you. And they want to literally make you go through all these heartaches to literally not get your needs met. But in a way, you literally try to get your needs met. And so, like, maybe they might see you as obsessive, or they might say you have obsessive compulsive disorder. They might sit there and say you have, bipolar, or they might sit there and shame on you to make you feel like, oh, wait, maybe I do have these things, you know, and you don't. You are trying to get your needs met by a person that's unavailable to you. And if that person is unavailable to you, a partner or whoever you are needing that emotional support from, you are literally, you know, sabotaging yourself. And, there is sabotaging yourself, but also sabotaging in a obsessive compulsive way. And I'm not talking about sabotaging in a compulsive disorder way. I'm talking about sabotaging you emotionally and for yourself. The other person is obsessive compulsive with you, and the other person is getting you to have reliving that memory of, what you've experienced time before, and in unhealthy toxic relationships. They are making you relive that memory within yourself. That's why you have PTSD. That's why you have panic attacks. That's why you deal with obsessive compulsive disorder. That's why you deal with, you know, negative self talk to yourself, negative thinking all the time because of these individuals that literally set you back. And so that all takes a play in unavailable partner is self-care, shame. You are 100% apologetic. You sabotage yourself, inflicting it onto others to get your needs met. PTSD and obsessive compulsive disorder. And the reason why I put the obsessive compulsive disorder at the last is because they will blame you for being obsessive. They will sit there and say, oh, well, you're the attention seeker and you are being crazy and psycho and you have all these issues and that's why we're not going to work out. And you're like thinking to yourself, well, isn't that what I told you? Like, you are not being an available partner. You are being an unavailable partner, and you are sabotaging my life and inflicting all of that behavior. And what are you trying to make me do? Are you expecting me to do the same behaviors that you're doing to me onto you? And they will get you addicted to that. It will be kind of like an addiction drug. Like, you actually have to get your needs met by yelling at a person or your significant other. You always have to get your point across. You will always have to fight and argue just to get that other person to fight and argue with you back, just so that they could say, oh, you're crazy. And so you're only sabotaging yourself. And then you're like realizing, at the end of the day, I have to be the one that apologizes all the time. So if you're the one that has to apologize 100% of the time, and you're being apologetic and you're saying, I'm sorry for what I've done or whatever you may have done, but you didn't do anything, you are inflicting that behavior of theirs onto you and making you be, that one that might have to be obsessive or jealous just to get your needs met. And it's not in a bad way. It's actually, you're getting your needs met. You're screaming out for help. You're like, this is exactly what you're not doing because you're unavailable to me. And sometimes an unavailable partner is literally someone that can't be changed either. It, in a way, it is underlined in me, the way that I think of an unavailable partner can have many things that they're dealing with, yes, but if they keep being unavailable to you and they literally blame and shame you, you are dealing with a narcissist. And you are also dealing with a very unhealthy, immature, toxic individual that won't change, and that is underlined as a narcissistic characteristic disorder. And that person cannot be changed. Unfortunately, that is pretty much that diagnosis. And, I have read and I've watched YouTube videos myself about these, disorders. And to me, it's like, how can we get these people to stop? But we just can't. Unfortunately, they know what they're doing, but they literally love to make you, like the list that I just read. They will put it on you. That's you, and you're like, you start to think it every day. You're like, okay, maybe I am obsessive. Maybe I have PTSD, which you might have PTSD from prior relationships. Maybe you're shaming yourself. Maybe you're not taking care of yourself. Maybe you're, you know, you just feel very horrible about yourself, and that's kind of where they want to get you wrapped up in that mess. Because if they do get you wrapped up in that mess, and they can program your mind into, oh, I can get him or her to start acting as if they are attention seekers or very obsessive or very jealous. If I can get them to do that, then I can sit there and say, oh, well, you're the issue, you're the problem. And because they don't want to fix or change themselves, so they're trying to literally put it on you and say, you need to change. And that's not really true. That's kind of where, that struggle real shirt comes in, because that is the struggle. That is the real thing that you're dealing with an unavailable partner or a significant other or someone that's very unavailable to you, that you need that support, emotional support from. And if they really cut jabs at you all the time, they don't really have that best interest for you. They literally want to sabotage your life just to make their life a little bit bigger than yours. And they want to sit there and say, oh, well, that's the reason why I'm not in your life, because of this and this and that, but they caused it. They do things that literally a child would do. And if you're being apologetic for that all the time, you're never going to get out of that. And you're going to be in a very unhealthy, toxic spot 100% all day, every day. And I've been there, and it sucks. And so it gets really, really bad, because they literally get you to feel, anxiety. You could have social anxiety, or you could have just anxiety altogether because of that traumatized, uh, behavior that they cause and they put you through. You start to literally feel like, okay, what can I do to get my needs met? I am literally trying to self-care myself, and what they're saying is, oh, I'm being compulsive about things, or I'm being jealous about things, or I'm trying to flaunt everything out because, you know, I'm going to go cheat on them, or what they think in their mind. But they're the one that's causing it, because they're making your emotions feel that way. And so what I'm trying to, say and get at is, they cause you to feel that way. They cause you to feel emotional. They cause you to feel to be unavailable to yourself, and they literally get you to say, I'm sorry all the time. And, they might say, oh, I forgive you. Or they might say, no, I'm not going to forgive you. You keep doing it. You keep doing it, because they want you to feel damaged. They want you to keep being stuck in that damaged place within yourself. And when you start to know that you are dealing with an unavailable partner or someone, but when you start to see, this is the red flag, when you start to see that you are being unavailable to yourself, that's a red flag right there, that they are actually programming you to be compulsive, that they are programming you to be jealous. They are programming you to be someone that you're not. And it gets worse every day if you are in it. If you don't seek couples counseling, and if things don't change, you are going to literally not be able to get out of it, because they literally destruct you. They destruct your life. They literally interfere with your emotions, and they interfere with your recovery or your healing process. They literally damage you inside and out. And therapy might take 10 or longer years to recover from, if you're that traumatized. And so, you know, it's just very, very tough when you're in that situation. And then also, when you deal with someone who is a pathological liar, you literally can be addicted to those behaviors yourself. And, you know, how do you really grieve? How do you really cry? How do you really sit there and say, I shouldn't feel sorry for them anymore? When's enough is enough. Like, how do you know, right? Well, sometimes this can come back from child, abuse or child trauma or past trauma in your life. But how do you really grieve, or how do you know when someone is really just out to play the game with you and it's a power trip game? How do you really know? Well, when you keep seeing it as a pattern and they are lying to you continuously every day and you are catching them in that lie, um, how do you literally sit down with yourself and have that one time grieving process to actually sit down and be like, I got to be mindful with myself and this shouldn't be happening? You know, this individual is blaming me for everything. And it's like, where do I come as a person to be bigger and to be brighter and be wiser? And where do I get out of this mess? And it takes a while, but when you start to, feel good about yourself and you can take care of yourself and you're not shaming yourself and you're not sabotaging yourself and your PTSD, yeah, you're still going to have, but it's manageable. And when you're not feeling the need to obsessively get your needs met with that person, you will then begin to start to be available to yourself, and you will then start to be able to grieve and heal from that. And it will be a little bit more easier each and every day. You won't have that stinging feeling in your heart or just within your body. You won't feel that tug, like I need that, or I want my needs met. You're not going to feel that pull you. And so when you feel that relax you in a way, like I don't need to get my needs met from this person because he is or she is very unhealthy, very toxic. He or she's a narcissist. Whatever that might be, the case of that, when you can start to remove that from your life, you will begin to know that you are at that healing stage. You are at that healing process and you are recovering from that. And when you know that you're not taking these individuals that are toxic back, and when you're not really believing them and sitting there saying it's all my fault, I'm doing this, I'm doing that when they caused it, when you know that you can self-care and self-love yourself and self-worth, make yourself, very just brighter in your day, you will know that it's working. And you will know that if you're not, being pulled down, and that struggle is not a like 100% struggle all the time, you will know that you're getting stronger within yourself and that you will begin to feel like you're growing again. And if you can depart from that, like if you got discarded really hurts so much in relationships or whatever. But if you got discarded, you need to realize they discarded you because of them, not because of you. And you need to realize that. And I had to realize that, like, man, I've been discarded in relationships. Was it me? I thought about that. No, it was not me. It was actually them discarding themselves. But they literally wanted to discard someone because they wanted to make them feel better about themselves. They can't discard themselves, they have to discard someone else. So that's kind of where they literally make you start feeling like you're crazy or whatever. But, that's kind of where, when you're dealing with an unavailable individual or partner or whatever, that's when you'll know. And the red flags within that, if they aren't changing and that's a pattern and they're lying to you continuously and they are degrading you and they are discarding you and they are playing that power trip game with you and they're making you feel all these symptoms, and they're making you feel like you're the one that's the bad person, like you're the one that they left because it was you. You need to get out of that. And if you're not seeing a therapist, I advise you to go see one and go talk with someone about it, because leaving it in with yourself and not expressing it is going to make you be obsessive. Going to be making you shame yourself and be apologetic for something that you didn't even do, and sabotaging yourself or sabotaging other people, you are going to get into that nasty narcissistic behavior, as they want you to be, and they want you to become that same person as they are. And so if you do not take the steps to literally overpower them in a good way, you are literally allowing them to be a part of your life, even if they don't live with you. Even if they're an outsider of your life, you are allowing them to be a part of it, because you are allowing their nasty behaviors, and you're not removing them from you. And so they are not out for the best interest for you. They literally like to sabotage and hurt you, make you the the monster, and make you out to be the crazy person. So if you are going through that, I hope that you get out while you can, and you know go talk with a therapist. If couples counseling does not work out and they do not change. As for a narcissistic person, that therapy session will not work for them, and they won't help you out, and it won't help your guys' relationship or marriage out. You will need to, I'm sorry, kind of divorce that narcissist, remove yourself from that relationship, and kind of start that healing process for yourself, because it can take 5 months to a year. It can take up to 2 years. It can take up to 5 years. It depending on how well you process that, and where your healing process is, or how much damage do you have gone through with that, in particular, unavailable partner or a narcissist. It will take as long as you were in that relationship with that person. It will take you as long to heal from that. And if you keep, inviting them back in, or allowing them back in, or saying, I'm sorry, or whatever, because they want to get what they want out of you, you are only allowing that to keep interfering with your healing. And that healing process won't start until they are out, and until you literally start to feel that love for yourself, and have that I can do this, I'm a strong person, and my worth is better than you know what he or she said it was. Or when you can think that in your mind, all the negative talk with yourself comes to positive thinking. When you can start noticing that, you are going to be becoming more stronger. So, all right, guys and ladies, like, comment, and share. And this Jenna Marie will be back for more videos, and doing more videos, because I feel the need. So I will do more videos.